Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you this breaking news stories. Dinosaurs. Yes, that's right. Dinosaurs are attacking the city. There are giant, fire-breathing dinosaurs roaming the streets. Please, please evacuate. The military has been called in to deal with them. Oh no, it looks like the military's tanks are completely ineffective. But that's alright. If tanks don't work, this dinosaur is worried because we've got helicopters. Dinosaur helicopters. Dinosaur helicopters. Who will win? Irashaimase. Hello and welcome to Fitaurus Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fitaurus. It's time once again for Shoot 'em Up Saturday, and on the menu this Saturday we have Prehistoric Isle 2! The follow-up to the 1989 classic Prehistoric Isle in 1930. What kind of taste will we have? Let's get cooking and find out. So first thing to know, Prehistoric Isle 2 takes place in more modern times rather than the 1930s of, well, the original Prehistoric Isle. As we dive into the game, we're given the option of selecting between two different helicopters. The main difference between them is your shot type. The blue helicopter here has a straight shot, so all your shots are going to go and primarily fire straight forward. But the green helicopter has more of a spread pattern, and this is the one I like as it helps to control the enemy mobs of dinosaurs that will come flying at us that much better. So that's the one we'll be picking today. Controls are relatively simple. We have two buttons. We've got our main shot button, and we also have a bomb. So this dinosaur right here is actually just background, so we can kind of see that bus get demolished by these rampaging dinosaurs running rampant through the city. Some of the dinosaurs are actually in the background as well. So we have two possible weapons we can go and pick up. There's the G, which is the Gatling gun, and it's my more preferred, or the C, the cannon, which does deal higher damage. The game has a really fun rescue mechanic where throughout the course of the stage, not all of them, but most of them, we'll have 5 civilians or military personnel that we can rescue. There are also other rescue scenes that we'll happen to go and see here momentarily, but in addition to our standard tap shot for our shot, if we hold it down, we get a more constant shot that doesn't have as much to it, but with both this helicopter as well as the straight shot helicopter, we actually have the ability to control where our shots are going to an extent. So with this one, if we move forward, we can tighten up our spread, but if we pull back, it'll widen up. But really, I find it easiest to use the auto fire that is available since this is a Neo Geo Arcade Archives release. So that's something to keep in mind. Both the Western and Japanese releases of Prehistoric Isle 2 are available on this collection. We also have the usual high score mode, as well as the, let's go ahead and change the cannon, as well as the usual caravan mode. So high score mode, you're trying to set as high of a score as possible with basically one continue. Caravan mode, you're trying to set as high of a score as possible in 5 minutes, if you're not familiar with the Neo Geo Arcade Archive setup. So that was a Defend People section that we just completed. So there are several points throughout the course of the game where you'll have Defend People section where you have to basically fend off the dinosaurs as people are boarding an emergency helicopter. The more people you can save, the more points you can get, and the more items the people you're saving will also be passing out. So our weapons do power up. We start at level 1 and we work all the way to level 5. This is indicated in the bottom there. Level 5 is max. There's a really neat point mechanic where if you collect the weapon you have already, once you've hit level 5, you'll actually go into a bonus time where we'll start accruing a multiplier, which is great for those high score attempts. So something to keep in mind. Here, at the end of the stage, if we happen to have any individuals we've saved, we can touch this helicopter, which is say, "Touch me, touch me!" And everybody will, in a really cute manner, jump off into this rescue helicopter. We'll get power-ups as thank yous from them, and Warning, something is approaching. So despite this guy storming all around, we can't actually hurt them at this point in time. And that brings me to one complaint I do have about Prehistoric Isle. I wish it had some sort of life bar for the bosses. One of the bosses does change color, but as you deal more damage to them, but that's not necessarily the case. So I haven't showed off the bomb yet. Let's go ahead and do that just a little bit with this helicopter so you can see how it is. The bomb on the blue helicopter, our stray shot, is a significantly more focused attack, whereas the spread shot, the bomb is a very spread attack. I do like that there are different bombs between the two. So we're getting close to defeating this dinosaur as he fires rings at us. Boom, and he's dead. So the emulation has a really neat feature. So the Japanese version of Prehistoric Isle and the North American version of Prehistoric Isle had different life systems. In the Japanese, we have an HP bar, and as we take damage, we just lose HP rather than outright die. And that's important with the rescuing mechanic. With the rescuing mechanic, if you happen to lose a life in the North American version, then you'll lose all the people you're carrying. One of them will die, and the others will start parachuting back down to the ground. On the Japanese version, you'll lose the one person that would go and have died normally. They'll go and say a big, "Oh no!" But the others will stay on the helicopter, so you won't have to worry about picking them back up afterwards. So we've just picked up another Gatling after we already had full power. So as you can see, we're actually getting up to a times 16 score multiplier on the enemies we fight. It doesn't last very long, but once again, like I said, if you're looking for a high score challenge, that's definitely one way to do it. So as we move up this tower from this prehistoric looking city here, we get attacked by all these waves of fire breathing and other flying dinosaurs. But fortunately, with our spread cannon, they are definitely go down quickly. So here we find ourselves at the second defend people section. Straightforward, the helicopter drops down its rope, and we see all these people climb to the top. If we take out these dinosaurs, they'll be in good shape. But it's not, it's actually possible for some of these dinosaurs to carry away the people that we're trying to save. We also have a smart bomb, so we can go and clear the stage. Another one of our stock bombs. Oh no! Somebody didn't make it. There are also missile power-ups that we can pick up. Wait! Oh no! Oh no! Help! Help! So there are 4 types of missiles. There's the standard basic missile. There's the homing missile, napalm, which I will actually take for this next section. And the super missile, which comes up really rarely, but the missiles fire forward almost like a beam. It's really awesome to see, but since it's a rare power-up, you don't get to have it for very often or very long. Missiles act the same way as our weapons, where if we take a hit, we do lose 1 level of our weapon. So it's possible to get multiple levels of missile, but if you're not careful, you'll lose those missiles quite quickly, as you can only level them up, I believe, 3 levels compared to the cannon's 5 levels. And that's basically everything that we have here in Prehistoric Isle 2. So other than like having dinosaurs, it doesn't have a whole lot of connection to the original, as we're not even flying biplanes. The awesome multifunction pod from the original is gone. But we do have this neat helicopter, so it's a more straightforward shoot 'em up than the original, to be sure. But I do really like the saving mechanic we have in here. As far as like settings and explaining where these dinosaurs are coming from, well, there's not much story actually given in the game itself aside from the opening cutscene, which I decided to go and provide a little bit of narration to. But maybe, I don't know, something crazy like humans coming across underground cache of dinosaurs while they were like building a power plant or something like that, or maybe aliens or some combination thereof. I'm not sure, but let's see if we can get over there to help this guy right now. We'll go and blow up that animated dinosaur skull, skeleton, fossil thingy, and we'll move on our way. But that's Prehistoric Isle 2 served for your enjoyment. So as far as minus flavors are concerned, admittedly, oh no! One thing that I do have a slight issue with the game is actually the dinosaur sound effects. When they die in particular, when I have a lot of dinosaurs swarming, that sound effect can get really annoying. The game itself also has, I mentioned, that lack of health bar from the bosses. Just sometimes makes it hard to go and know how you're actually doing against the bosses. And then something that's not necessarily a minus flavor, but depending on who you are, it's not necessarily a plus flavor either. The graphics were 3D models rendered as 2D sprites, so they can look a little bit like cheesy, like plastic models. It's not a graphic style that I feel has aged super well, but at the same time, it still is fun and it gives the game a distinct look. As far as plus flavors are concerned, I really like the rescue mini games that it happens to throw in there, the defend people sections, as well as the section where you're having to go and basically save these people and try not to lose them the course of the entire stage is a really, really fun challenge. And then the bizarre setting where we're fighting dinosaurs that are dive bombing us. So this is one boss that will change color if we happen to deal enough damage. We're actually just about dead, so real quick, I will take a loss of life. We'll rank in, we'll just go and be AAA for this run. We'll insert another coin, and this time we'll go and take the straight shot. So we can go and see that's how the straight shots bomb works. Fortunately, when you do continue, you get extra power-ups that drop. Our bosses turn purple. Let's see if we can take them out real quick. And our boss is red, just about down. Well, that's been Prehistoric Isle 2. I hope you've enjoyed this look at it. As always, I want to thank you so much for coming out and joining me for Shoot 'em Up Saturday. So, the Arcade Archives release, which is available on the Switch, the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One, although I believe PlayStation 4 just in the Japanese region at this time, is the first time that Prehistoric Isle 2 has been released for anything other than the original Neo Geo MVS. So it's your first chance to go and play this game aside from its original arcade release back in 1999. And I highly encourage you to go and do it, as I've had a lot of fun with this one. It's different and unique from the original Prehistoric Isle, but I feel that uniqueness adds just a lot of character and flavor to it. Alright, well, that'll just about wrap it up for this week's episode of Shoot 'em Up Saturday. As always, I want to thank you so much for coming out and joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.